Hello everyone and welcome to this live broadcast about the new moon in Scorpio that we are going to have on the 4th of November 2021. Definitely it is an intense time and humanity is working towards a big shift in consciousness. We have been moving through from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is about new vision about individual life, the individual life in relation to the whole. So all of us, we need to find our own place in the world and feel realized and feel fulfilled. We are at the very beginning of that process, and 2021, I've mentioned that many times, is really a year, is one of the karmic numbers in esoteric numerology. We talk about really the giving birth to something new. And we are reaching the end of the year. We are just about to reach the end in Scorpio, which is a star sign related to death and life, from death to life, and from the impure to the pure. So we are really going through a big process of rebirth. And then today we're going to talk about exactly what this is all about, because this lunation is supporting that process with all the energies that the universe is moving within us and around us in order to achieve this purpose, this task. Symbolically, Scorpio is a star sign associated to turquoise, and turquoise is a sign, is a color that is related to the creative communication of the heart. So exactly listening, learning to listen, how to listen to the whispering of the heart, and express that creatively in the world, means also taking action, expressing who we truly are, who we want to be, and moving away from everything that keeps us separated from the mind point of view, our thinking process, in order to find who we really are. And turquoise is really that process of individuation. This concept is definitely supported by the Sabian symbol related to this lunation. The sun and the moon will be at 12 degrees Scorpio, and Uranus at 12 degrees 47 Taurus. It's going to be exactly opposite to the moon, the sun and the moon, triggering a big, intense revolutionary process. Because Uranus is the god of war, the god of revolution, the process of is a turquoise energy as well, is the process of individuation. So is an inspiration that is coming from another level of our being, bringing through a new quality, a new inner quality. We are really triggered in order to go through a process of choosing, facing two kinds of perspective, and choosing really which one is going to be the one that we want to follow. And this is also reflected by the energy and the number of November, which is an 11 month. 11 is called, in esoteric numerology, is called the prophet, receiving a higher inspiration, but also facing each other, facing oneself in the mirror. So we are really going to have these two energies within triggering a process of transformation. Scorpio is exoterically ruled by Pluto, which is god of the underworld, the god that is asking us to go into the subconscious mind, face what is coming up from the subconscious mind, our fear, our doubts. And then also Mars, which is the one of the esoteric rulers, which is asking us to really fight, but not in a sense of fighting, holding up the candle of the true inner self, and having the courage to really hold that candle within us. So Mars in this case is not the war or the god of war, but is the warrior of light. And then the final ruler of Mars is Mercury, the highest ruler, which is a hierarchical ruler, which means that thanks to that, our mind will go up and ask from inspiration to bring down into the intellect, the little self, and so transform deeply our deep inner values, because we cannot only speak about what we believe and what is a value for us, but we really ask to live that energy. So the Sabian symbol, which is an inventor, performs a laboratory experiment, speaks about the value of individual initiative, really choosing to act according to who we really are. And then we see really exactly that energy, because in the day of this lunation, so bear in mind that the new moon is about planting a new seed. So the whole of November is going to trigger that process of, now we are seeding, planting a seed, and the seed will start growing, and we'll see things happening in the next 6 months. But the seed is just something that we see happening within, something that is inviting us to open the door to the inner truth, which is also a door to freedom. And why am I saying about talking about opening the door? Because number 4, the day of this lunation, is associated to the 𝗦𝗓𝗓. You see the other way around in the Hebrew alphabet, which describe a man bent, and this letter means door. So this man bending down, and then it also means poor. So what is really has to bend within us is the old way of being, because we are invited to receive clarity from a higher source, from something higher. And then within, as part and as a main part of the, or main key to the whole process, is the fact that we need to have faith, purity of heart, and innocence. Really, whatever we choose to follow, whatever you choose to pursue, must come from our heart, must be have an innocent, innocence must be energies coming from, which means actually no second, no ambition, no personal ambition, but just because this is who we are, this is what we want to express. And then the Dalit is really about opening the door of the house, and the house is our body, is our personality, is our being, because we realize in a very humble way that what we believe, we have believed until now, is not exactly what it happens to be. This lunation is going to bring about a lot of conflict, inner and outer conflict, a lot of tests and challenges, because a Scorpio challenges us on a physical way, you know, means in is also related to the bloodstream, so it's really about our life force, who we are. And we're going to go through a trial, because the test is, the aim of the energy of the universe is really to reorient our life and to orient to the life of the soul, and to be open, to become sensitive to the plan, to the higher plan, in order to be then in Sagittarius, becoming one-pointed, you know, going find the direction we need to go. The day of the lunation is asking us to see things, and also the Sabian symbol that we have in astrology is really 2 cobblers working at a table, which means cobblers are symbolic, working with shoes, and they are symbolic of belief system. So we are going to see ideas, 2 ways of looking at reality in front of us, and we are invited to change perspective, because one perspective is going to trigger our fears, is going to trigger, because it has the purpose really to keep us under the control of our own belief system, our all the conditioned mind patterns, while the aim of this lunation is really to free us, to help us achieve liberation from everything that limits who we truly are. You can see that in the number of the month, because November is an 11, which is the number of the prophet, so a very high energy is coming through, but is also, as I said, looking at ourselves in the mirror, to see the truth about who we are. And the total edition of the day of designation is number 20, which is in esoteric numerology means gestation, means giving birth, but also a number associated to a lot of violence or a lot of inner conflict to trigger that process of transformation. In relation to the Hebrew letters, is associated to the letter Kaf, which you see, this is a crown completely which has fallen on the ground. So means our crown, the crown of our ego has to fall, and then we need to change our view of the world, because the Kaf is really talking about a potential, the potential that can be actualized on earth in each moment, but it also means the palm of the hand over man, which can happen in two ways. We can put our palm on the head of a person to bless them, or we can put our palm on the head of a person to subdue, to coerce this person. So the aim of the universe is to suppress everything that within us doesn't belong to the true self, but it may be used in order to achieve, it may come out as a tendency in the outer world to suppress, to be severe, because if we use the left hand, is really about being severe, and then really control others and control yourself, being controlled by others, because they want to keep you to remain in the same old way of being. But the truth is, we are invited, because 4 of the day, 2 coming from the 11 of the month is a 42, 6. We are invited to free ourselves from any kind of bondage, from any kind of limitation, and then look up. This is the Kaf, the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. You see the man looking up, with the head looking up. And is really the letter that talks about the communication between the higher forces and the earthly forces. So is really symbolic of the pillar of truth, the death of the old way of being, and a man standing upright, receiving the only truth that is the truth coming from the heart. 42 in the Hebrew letter is a 40, letter Mem, plus 2, letter Bet. Mem is the letter that is also symbolic of the womb, so it also relates to the 40, because value 40 is the 40 days of the flood. Also the Jewish people who got lost in the desert for 40 days when they lost their faith. So we're really invited to go through this process of purification, death, rebirth, pure, impure, pure, in order to go through this desert and then come out completely renewed, with a new way of looking at ourselves, new way of looking at our life, releasing the energy of the past, which is really coming from the total addition of the year 2021 that we no longer need. So this test is going to be very intense, because there is a big inflow of energy coming from Sirius. This is the nation. We are going to have a very strong T-square between the sun and the moon, and then Uranus up here in Taurus, and then Saturn at 7 degrees in Aquarius. And really, the energy, we are really asked to clear the mind. Scorpio is a sign which is associated to the death, the killing of the Lernaean Hydra. And the Hydra is symbolic of all the desire that keep us attached to survival issues. And then we're really taken deep within ourselves in order to have that deep realization at the root of consciousness that we can't keep holding on to this energy, and that we need to really to shift our way of looking at life and incarnate, embody what we truly believe. The way in which we need to do it is forgetting any kind of social advantage, any kind of individual ambition, because the universe is going to show us that if we do things only for ambition, only if we want to do things only to receive approval, we won't go anywhere. And it's a heavy luggage to handle because, as I said, the purity, faith, purity of the heart, and innocence are really the keys of this transformation. And then conjunct to the sun and the moon, you know, that because they are both at 12 degrees 40, and 12 is really giving up, or everything you think should be good for you, in the sense of all your desires. Our desire come from the desire to survive, you know, from survival issues. With Vulcan and then Mars and then Mercury and Vesta, we are really invited to incarnate what we truly believe. We have to stop just talking. We have to stop just saying that we believe in love. We have to stop just saying that we believe in freedom. We have just to stop just saying we believe in compassion. In whatever we believe, we must live. Learn to live it completely. The mind is really, which is Scorpio, is really going through that huge process of transformation. And then if we hold on to that energy, if we hold on to that, transcend this mental limitation, we are really supported by the goddess Juno in the manifestation of projecting one's vision upon the material world and give form to everything we see in our vision. We need to learn to hold on to the little candle that is within us. Revolution, the astrology chart of this nation says revolution doesn't start from big things. Big starts and even inner revolution from holding a candle. Holding the candle and the light represents who you truly are. So hold on that candle for yourself, within yourself, and then may this candle be the new value you want to manifest and achieve in this life, and transcend any fear and any negativity that is within you, because this lunation is also taking us to a deep and profound healing in relation to that. So there's a big growth in consciousness. So the big question of this lunation is going to be, which attitude do you assume? Do we assume in relation to what we see within and what we see outside? And then whatever we choose is going to be manifested in the month to come. So it's a big possibility, if we choose that inner light, to manifest the seed, the potential, you know, 𝗏, that you carry within. But in order to manifest the potential, we need to start nurturing that light. And so hold on your candle these days, especially symbolically. Light a candle for what you feel within yourself is really you, and nurture that energy. So thank you for listening. I wish you a wonderful lunation. Should you wish to have a look at our website, we're going to start soon a beautiful online labyrinth course. You can go on our website. It appears in Italian, but you have the choice to switch to English, and then have a look at our calendar. I'm very grateful, and may the universe bless you at the time of this lunation. Ciao, ciao.